This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Now let's get on with Rafael Nadal retiring overnight.
Wait, no. The headlines everywhere said shock
was a
retirement.
shock. It was a shock.
It's not a shock.
I mean, he's barely played 2 years because he's injured.
He had 50 years left in him.
That's right.
I'm blown away.
He's one of the
an
greatest
amazing
chipmunks.
player.
Whenever you hear him speak, he sounds like one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I think it's just because he's speaking Spanish as well. So they speak so fast that it really, really amplifies the chipmunkiness.
I do really enjoy this because normally you would play a big grab of what he had to say in his retirement video, and there's no point unless you speak Spanish for us to
I know.
play it.
And then they run music underneath it, and you're like, go away.
You can run the music. I don't understand what he's saying.
Well, no. We know what he's saying. He's saying, I'm retiring. I've had enough. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
22 Grand Slams, 14 of those were won on clay, and he was, of course, the king of clay. 4 of those were won at the US Open, 2 at Wimbledon, which shows he can play on grass, and 2 at the Australian Open. All in all, just under 100 ATP titles. He won $117.5 million.
That's just
US,
prize money.
money. And his sponsorship is well and truly over $20-30 million a year.
Yeah.
So the guy...
He's going to be okay.
I mean, do you reckon he's ever cooked a meal in his life?
Do you reckon his super account's looking okay?
Oh, that's not bad, is it? I mean, working on 10% a year, and you're going to have some really good years. I mean, take out the fees. It's a good job to
Take
have.
out the fees.
So what's
What a
his,
fees? 1,000? 1%?
what's his actual net worth?
God, I'm
All
not
of it.
quite sure.
Yeah,
You
he's
can
not
have look
quite
at
a
that, Nathan.
billionaire,
We can
but
come back to that in a second.
he'd be close.
I'll Google
Yeah.
it. Let's have a
But
look.
what a champion of the game. I remember when he first started and he was just winning the French Open all the time, Nat,
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah.
I had this ick about him because I just love Roger, and Roger can play on all
Yes.
surfaces, and he could only dominate at that point in time on clay. But then he was able to, transform his game and grow
And the
to
fact
be able
that
to
he
play
and
on all the
Roger
other
are
things.
really good friends.
I like that.
And then Roger
It's
embraces it. We all embrace
It's sort of like the
Roger is
Ryan
friends
Reynolds
with
and
all
the
of
Hugh
us.
Jackman sort
Yeah,
of situation.
exactly.
I
Yes.
like it. We're invested in their friendship as well.
Nath.
I'm worried about him and how he's going to
okay.
make ends meet. I think
right.
he might be
Net worth?
doing some air tasking. 225 million.
Oh, it's so embarrassing because it isn't Roger a billionaire?
And that's that's not Australian either, so what's that?
That'd be
That's
US.
US, yeah.
So what's that?
Oh, we're talking 400.
What's he going to do? You know, it's cost
400.
of living.
Where's he based?
hear
Where's
you.
he based? Mallorca or somewhere probably.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's his home. That's his home.
How
Yeah.
exciting to now, you've dominated tennis and you've come out with the best reputation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you have $400 million
Yeah.
Australian to spend. Well, each day would just be great.
There's one thing
Wouldn't it?
I always like to know. We've had a rare billionaire that we've had a conversation with, but
Yeah.
what kind of credit card yet do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, they're metal then, and they don't have anything on them. They're like, you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
things that we can't even comprehend, Shaun.
Yeah.
God.
It's invisible.
And how big
You
would your
can't even
PIN
see
number
it.
be? It would have to be pretty long, wouldn't it? Because you don't want people hacking that.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see this guy talking the other day, and he was talking about how he spends a lot of money on his American Express. And one stage he bought this really fancy car for $600,000 on an American Express
to get the points.
But how crazy is that,
So it's all
though?
about
Yeah,
points.
then he got a free flight.
How long has he been playing tennis for?
Oh, so he's 38. So I probably came on the
So, I mean,
18,
professionally,
I'd say.
22
years.
225 million, and then we've got Selena Gomez, who is a billionaire. Isn't that?
He needs
doesn't
a
have his own
makeup
makeup
line.
company.
Yeah.
Like, so he mustn't have done like a company or something like that, because all these celebrities Selena Gomez, we all know her, but the fact that she's a billionaire blows your mind. It's like, are
Yeah.
you serious? We're not playing her song every 5
No.
seconds. You know Taylor Swift.
Makeup's the key.
Yeah.
Makeup's the
Get
key.
yourself a makeup line.
Moving on, Socceroos had a win last night.
Yes,
they
they
went
did.
down early in their game, but they were able to come clear at the end, 3-1. They had 17 scoring shots to, I think, about 7 in the end against China. It looked a bit dicey in the defence a couple of times,
Yeah.
but we were able to
Take
get
the
the win. Whilst you're watching that on Bold, the Wildcats were playing on ESPN,
Yeah.
and the Wildcats had the game under control for a long
they nearly
period of
blew
time,
it,
and
didn't
they
they?
nearly blew it at the end, like they
Yeah.
have done every single week lately.
A guy had a shot on the buzzer that had it landed, it would have taken it into overtime again. They just kind of stuffed it at the end. It's like they just gave up. The commentators are going, they just need to, just to play out the rest of this game and they'll take the win.
But they couldn't inbound the ball and they'd made a turnover.
I know.
Bryce
Crazy.
Cotton with 35 points.
Yeah,
Jesse
he's back.
Wagstaff did a pretty good job last night. You know, when I was watching Jesse in the first quarter, and he started for the first time this season, and he's been around for 100 years. He still has the moves, but he was unable to finish, and then they subbed him out after about 4 minutes, and I kept thinking, I don't know, as an older guy, most of the time you don't have the moves and athleticism, but he still had it. He wasn't able to finish, and if he could do that on a regular basis...
That's just an off night, I reckon.
It would just make it a really, he'd make him a really strong proposition for the Wildcats to be able to get out there more often.
He loves the Gilmore Girls, Jesse Wagstaff.
Maybe that's his downfall.
And apparently makes a very good quiche. So
that's all of Nathan's Jesse Wagstaff facts.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Catching up with AFLW star Em O'Driscoll just now, but we're going to give away something that Em would absolutely love, and that is 5 contrast therapy sessions at Rec Lab. Now, Em, this is over in Wembley.
Shaun did it.
Yeah, we'll get you to go there, actually, where vitality and recovery meet community. Book your session at reclab.com.au. How do you go with the ice baths and...
being thawed out and then put in the microwave.
Then hot, then cold.
I'd much prefer a contrast, actually. I love it. So I've been doing the Port Beach sauna and then the ocean as well. It's great in Perth because the water is so bloody cold that it does give you that ice bath experience. But this sounds incredible, and I'm always about winning things on Nova. So give it to me, guys.
What call are you giving it to, Shaun?
Oh, caller number 8, actually.
All right, 13 24 10.
When you're in the sauna, I just want to know because I'm not a sauna.
You sweat like a demon,
yeah. Do you have conversations with other people? Because I see those ones that are on the side of the beach in those shipping containers and stuff.
Yes.
So do you pop in and does everyone have a chat?
Well, you can have a silent sauna or not. Sometimes
Which
they
one
put
are you going in
signs
per chance?
Of course, the silent. Remember, I'm a shy wallflower in that. No, so I go in and have a chat, of course, because I feel like it wastes the time. And when you are in pain, you've got
it
to
helps it to go faster.
Absolutely.
But there is a silent sauna.
Yeah, they put signs up if people want that.
Oh, no talking.
So if someone starts to talk in there, do they get asked to leave?
You get kicked out.
It's an interesting one because when you go into a sauna sometimes, there's a lot of people in and out and they're sweating like a mofo, and then you go in and there's the only spots you can sit.
You're sitting in a puddle of someone else's sweat.
This is so
it
rank.
actually is. I do think about the germs sometimes and think it is gross. Like you're sweating with other people, and there's been so many things going around. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to get the flu.
God, remember that COVID when we had to stand 6 meters away from people?
Exactly. Not huddle in a shipping container and
not
sweat
sit in
together.
someone else's sweat.
Oh, absolutely. Now we're looking to bounce back against Carlton after going down to Hawthorn. By the way, Hawthorn, they bloody hardly had the ball inside 50 and they just kept slotting them through. It was really frustrating.
It was frustrating for you. As me as a defender, it was bloody frustrating for me, Shaun. I can tell you that right now. But no, they are a very, very good team. And to be honest, we actually kept them to
I don't think they are as good as what people are saying because you had more inside 50s. Yeah. I mean, they possibly moved the ball better at times. But I thought your effort probably exceeded theirs.
It was actually funny heading into the game though. Hawthorn hadn't been up against any high pressure teams, and we were the highest pressure team almost in the comp. So I think that obviously took them away from their game plan a little bit because they couldn't go into their kind of handball and short 45 kicks.
So they just went for slotting them in from distance and nailing it.
That's exactly it. I reckon I just saw the ball fly over my head at least 10 times, and I'm actually glad they missed a few because we would have been in strife if they didn't. But no, they are certainly a good team, but we could have got over the line, and I guess that was the messaging at the end of the game is that the effort was there. We just couldn't capitalise on our opportunities.
Big game against Carlton. We'll get to that, but you got a good relationship with Lisa Webb, obviously.
Yeah, Lisa she's an absolute ripper. She talks very highly of all of us girls, and we absolutely love having her. She's honestly like our mum, but I guess my relationship with Lisa has gotten a little bit closer after our away trip to Geelong when we are in the bus travelling to Geelong, and I, weak bladder, had to go to the toilet at the back of this coach and was the first person
Coach toilets are so disgusting.
No, literally, and I was dreading it. I was like, has anyone gone to the toilet? And everyone's like, no, like we haven't. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take one for the team here and test it out.
Break the seal, yes.
So I've gone into the toilet, closed the door, dropped me Dax, and the bus must have on this highway hit some sort of a rock because I have come out the door with my pants at my ankles and my senior coach is sitting opposite me. It was the worst thing ever, and Lisa and I reckon I've never moved so fast in my life to close this door, pull my pants up, and then I got stage fright and couldn't even go.
Seriously,
it was horrendous, but Lisa and I, we just had the biggest joke about it now, saying like, I'm so much closer with you now, Em.
Did you at least have a long shirt on?
No, I didn't. No, I've got a little crop on now. Oh, it was terrible.
She got full view of your Driscoll.
She certainly did. She's seen it all now, so that was absolutely brilliant. And then I just yelled out after I'd done my business.
Why'd you get bladder shy then? Everyone's already seen everything.
No, well, I know. My senior coach has, not the whole bus, but I did have to yell out. I was like, girls, the lock doesn't work on the toilets.
It's always the case on those coaches.
And that message is coming from my vagina.
Well, so then from then on, Lisa and I have just been joking. All right, flaps out today, girls. Let's go.
Coming into land, obviously. You know what I mean?
Obviously, yes, obviously. Yeah. Well, we're getting down to the pointy season
take the
already.
girl out of Northam.
By the way, pointy season of the season.
Pointy what? Pointy end.
Pointy of the season. Pointy season of the season. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's nearly the
Sean's
end,
been
is what he's saying.
It is, yeah. No, definitely.
It goes fast.
We're calling it a 4-week block, so we're not going to go rounds because, as we all know, the rounds confuse everyone with 6A, 6B, 7. So we're just going a 4-week block from here on out. We've got one away game left, and we obviously have this week against Carlton, and then next week's the big derby at Leaderville Oval, which will be really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're going along well too.
I need there to be a flaps up sign at the next game. Someone please make a flaps up game. Flaps up sign. Next to the bring the emoji.
No,
bring the emoji. Yeah.
Really exciting. We actually can't wait. Let's go. And I don't want to say the F word, but I'm going to say it. We need to make finals, and we're bloody pumped to make finals.
Let's go.
Too many F words.
Yeah, you've already said it.
Our new guy behind the battle just got very nervous then and reached for the door just in case.
Yeah. No, she hates the swear words, Sam. You'll get used to that.
She would never swear
No,
on
she
radio.
saves them up until the red light goes on, then she just lets it go. Unbelievable.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
Good luck, Trish.
Thank you so much, guys.
Goodbye. Leave the building, please.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.